Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Erongo Talk. My name is Leandria Low and today I'm joining you from a lovely Swakopmund. Now it's Wednesday, it's the halfway mark of the week. There's almost an end in sight to January as well, so hang in there. Now as usual, right here on Erongo Talk, we bring you the latest news, we bring you the weather and tides, and then for our interview, we are going to chat to business owner, that is Iris Hango. Now she's the owner of Berry Decadent. Now she's going to tell us a bit about her delectable chocolate business that she runs. So you don't want to miss that one. Please stay tuned. We will be right back after this. Now, since it's Wednesday, we bring you some business and economics news. Now, a business delegation from Zimbabwe visited Namibia to look at the possibility of using the Walvis Bay corridors as an alternative trade route. Now, the delegation, consisting of executives from Buck Logistics, one of the largest logistics service providers in Zimbabwe, conducted business-to-business meetings, toured the Zimbabwe dry port and the port of Walvis Bay to enhance business linkages, promote the storage of products at the Zimbabwe dry port, and to explore import and export opportunities between the two countries. Now we are targeting increased trade with Namibia through strategic partnerships with local companies in the transport and logistics sector, said Mary Machikaiza, the managing director of Buck Logistics, and expressed optimism that the engagement will yield positive outcomes. But please head on over to our website to see more on this engagement. Now, secondly, in 2016, the first year of the ongoing recession, the average payday lender needed 1,429 Namibian dollars from a registered micro lender to make ends meet each month. Now, in the second quarter of 2021, the average had risen steeply to 2,345 Namibian dollars, which amounts to 64% more. Now, the latest data from the Namibia Financial Institutions Supervisory Authority shows a Namibian payday lender's average monthly bailout has ballooned by nearly 150% in the past decade. Now, payday lenders have to settle their debt in full within a month at interest rates of up to 30%. Now, in the midst of the third COVID-19 wave, a total of 61,269 payday lenders flocked to 387 registered micro lenders from March to June. Now, thirdly, the Industry Growth Program is part of the ongoing efforts to reinforce Namibia's economic growth, to reduce income inequality and to increase employment for its citizens. Now, the strategy forms part of the support to selected manufacturing industries envisaged by the Growth at Home strategy, which promotes Namibia's competitive advantages and opportunities. Now, this is envisaged through the Special Industrialization Program, whose aim is to provide targeted support for value chain analysis and feasibility studies. Now, it's through the implementation of growth sector strategies that the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade, MIT, in close cooperation with other line ministries, resolved to support local value addition, upgrading and economic diversification. And then finally, Namibia gained about 8.8 billion Namibian dollars in export earnings in November 2021, an increase of 1.3% when compared to 8.7 billion Namibian dollars recorded in October 2021. When compared to November 2020, exports increased by 3.9% according to the Namibia Statistics Agency trade statistics. Now, in addition, the value of imports stood at 12.1 billion Namibian dollars in November 2021, a decrease of 22.3% when compared to 15.6 billion dollars recorded in the preceding month. Now, on an annual basis, imports increased by 6.7% as 11.3 billion Namibian dollars was registered in November 2020, the statistics indicated. But like I said, please head on over to our website. That is www.erongo.com.na. That's www.erongo.com.na to read the latest on what's happening on the business and economics front, as well as what's happening here in our lovely Erongo region. Please stay tuned for our interview.
Joining us today is Miss Iris Hango of Berry Decadent. Hi Iris, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Irene?
I'm doing fantastic. So Iris, tell us a little bit about Berry Decadent. Where does it come from? You are currently celebrating your 1-year anniversary.
Yes.
We're happy to be celebrating with you. Tell us a little bit about where you come from.
So I'm from Windhoek. I'm based in Windhoek. Berry Decadent. I started it last December, so yeah. As you said, I'm celebrating our 1-year anniversary. I really don't know how I started it, but I think I just saw somebody make chocolate covered strawberries on social media, and I was like, that is a really good idea. I want to do that. Let's see if it can work. And then I just started. I practiced the whole of December 2020, and then I started posting about it in January of 2021. So that's how I started.
And how's the response been over the past year to Berry Decadent?
Really good, actually. I've received a pretty positive response from my viewers. It's been really fun. It's been a really great experience.
And tell me a little bit, this year, last year and this year were absolute nightmares for our small to medium enterprises. What was it like launching a business in this time?
It was really interesting because I've never done anything like this before, and at the time I didn't. Even now, I really haven't realized or grasped the fact that I started a business during the pandemic. So I really wouldn't have known. I don't really know the difference if we weren't in a pandemic.
Yeah,
or
there's
not.
no comparison.
Yeah, so it's been pretty good for me.
Yeah. So you have quite a few interesting flavor combinations. For example, your Oreo.
Yes.
Chocolate covered strawberry, and you have a 24 karat one, I believe, with gold leaf on it. It all looks very interesting and very exciting. How do you come up with these combinations?
Most of them, I've seen other people do them, like in the States and where else in the world. I've seen other people, so it's just kind of inspiration from that. Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your personal favorite? What do you think every customer should try?
Definitely the Oreo one, 24 karat. So I actually brought the ones that you saw, like the new flavors, the one in the display case. Those are all new. I haven't actually really sold them when I was in Windhoek, so it's all new. So hopefully more people will try it. I think, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good. So what do you think do you want from your business in the future? How would you like your business to expand?
So I'm a student. I don't have really the biggest goals at the moment because I'm still, a student and I have other goals.
Yeah.
But kind of like small little goals. I want to work with with corporate companies.
So Iris, how do you balance being a student and being a business owner?
So it's fairly easy for me because I usually do, like since I started my business in the pandemic, we've been doing online school, so it's really easy because I'm just at home most of the time, and then I go to school a few days a week, and I usually do my orders early in the morning. I either deliver or people do pickups, and then from the afternoon I'm busy doing schoolwork. So it's like morning time orders, and then afternoon school time.
So if people want to get in contact with you and try your different flavors and order from you, how do they get in contact with you?
My main kind of form of, I don't know how to say it.
Promotion.
Yeah, promotion is social media, and use Instagram like for everything. So that's kind of how people find me is through Instagram, and then it's Facebook as well. But I use Instagram the most.
So how do they find you on those platforms?
That's a really good question.
What's your handle and things like that?
But just Berry Decadent.
Okay,
Yes.
lovely. And then what do you think have been your biggest challenges in starting a business?
The biggest challenge, the heat in winter. It's very hot. That's why I do everything in the morning, because in the afternoon everything starts to melt. It's really hard to make my strawberries because it's just really hot. So yeah, it's definitely the heat. That's like my main one.
And how did you work with the heat?
Over time, I just kind of realized that it's not going to work in the heat, so I have to do everything in the morning, early in the morning, and then.
Okay, lovely. So Iris, the name Berry Decadent is quite an interesting name. Where did the name come from?
So, strawberries, berry, and then decadent. I just thought, like, what is chocolate like decadent? I guess I don't know how I really came up with the name, but
It just happened.
It just happened.
Fell from the sky.
I really don't remember how, but it's an original name.
Yeah.
I didn't copy it from anyone.
So Iris, tell us a little bit about that moment where you did this chocolate-covered strawberries and you realized that this could be a business and that you could make money with this.
So at first I just did it for fun or just for myself and my family, and then I gave some to my friends and they tried it out. They were like, "This is a really good idea. You could make money from this." So, and I was like, "Wait a minute, you're right, I can." So it's just how I started posting about it, and then, that's how I started.
Would you like to expand into any other type of product?
For the time being, I'm just gonna stick to my chocolate covered strawberries. But I've thought of like making baking, so like cakes and cake pops. But I'm just gonna stick to.
For now, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in, Iris.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's no problem. That was Iris Hango of Berry Decadent.
Hi there, welcome back to another episode of Rowan's Reflections. My name is Rowan van Dijk. I'm a leadership trainer, an author, and a professional speaker. A lot of times I get people that come up to me and say to me, especially friends and family and people I know closely, they say to me, "So why do you train leadership?" I mean, really, don't the people by now know how to lead? We have political leaders and all these leaders of organizations. Surely they know how to lead. That's the sad part, is the reason there are still people like myself and many others that train on leadership is that the current people who call themselves leaders are not leading. They are not applying the skills of leadership. In fact, they are managing. They think it's about power. They think it's about being in charge and about telling people what to do. This thing of leadership started over 2,500 years ago. There was a Chinese philosopher called Lao Tzu. And Lao Tzu loosely said that a leader is at his best when the team achieves the objectives. They don't realize that the leader was actually there with them achieving the objectives. They think they did it on their own. He also compared leadership to water. So in other words, water, you'll know if you have like fountain, water runs down doesn't run up. So it's about the leader leading the team and about the team leading the work. It's not all about the leader. It's also, water is also nourishing. It gives life. It sustains. It helps grow. And that's important with a leader. The role of a leader is to be there for the team, to have the team's back. Robert Greenleaf wrote a book about servant leadership, which doesn't mean that you're the slave to the team. It means that you have a servant heart, that your nature is a serving one. In other words, it's about providing resources, support, opportunities for the team to perform. Yeah, we don't always realize this, but the question has been asked before, and I asked the question as well many times, is how do you measure the success of your team? If you're a sales manager and you have a group of salespeople, how do you measure the success? Through the performance of each salesperson, them managing their targets, them making the sales calls that they're supposed to. Exactly. How do you measure the success of the leader, the sales manager? Through the performance of the team. Yeah, I love music, and in most of my talks I use music to explain how teams work and songs and that type of thing. And the one thing you must realize in a band, I've played in a band before. How a band works is the leader of the band, the conductor of the orchestra, doesn't play an instrument. So how does the leader turn a song into a hit record? They can't. The only way they can do it is by making the band work together. The band members with each of their separate skills, they are the ones that then eventually make the hit record. But the drummer cannot play keyboards on the drums. The keyboard cannot do vocals on the keyboard. So each person has their specific role that they play. The manager's role and the conductor's role is to keep them all together and to have them play in tune, to be aware of one another and each do the part that they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it. And then the band has a hit record. So the role of a leader is to lead, to inspire, to empower. It's not to be the most powerful person and to swing your scepter and expect everybody to jump at your beck and call. So when the leadership, current leadership, most of them, get to realize that it's not about them, it's actually about the team, then people will stop asking me the question, why do you have to do leadership training? Because then I won't be needed. I probably won't have a job anymore. But we'll have a much better world and much better leadership. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in one of the next episodes.
In today's weather report, the sun was out 23 minutes to 7 for Walvis Bay and will set 9 minutes to 8. Walvis Bay will experience a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 17 and a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A west-northwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 15 kilometers per hour. For Swakopmund, the sun was out 22 minutes to 7 and will set 9 minutes to 8. Swakopmund will experience a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 17 and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A west-northwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 11 kilometers per hour. For Henties Bay, the sun was out 22 minutes to 7 and will set 9 minutes to 8. Henties Bay will experience a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A west-northwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 11 kilometers per hour. For Arandis, the sun was out 23 minutes to 7 and will set 11 minutes to 8. Arandis will experience a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 16 and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A west wind will prevail with a speed of 13 kilometers per hour. For Usakos, the sun was out 25 minutes to 7 and will set 11 minutes to 8. Usakos will experience a maximum of 38 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 16 and a maximum of 37 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A north-northeasterly wind will prevail with a speed of 9 kilometers per hour. For Karibib, the sun was out 26 minutes to 7 and will set 16 minutes to 8. Karibib will experience a maximum of 37 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 37 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A north-northwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 7 kilometers per hour. And last but not least, for Omaruru, the sun was out 26 minutes to 7 and will set 17 minutes to 8. Omaruru will experience a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 19 and a maximum of 37 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A east wind will prevail with a speed of 7 kilometers per hour. And that was it for your weather report.
Unfortunately, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Erongo Talk. But I must just add, we've got some funny weather going on here in Swakopmund. It looks cold, but it doesn't feel cold. Now, as usual, please go check out our website. That is www.erongo.com.na. That's www.erongo.com.na to read all about what's happening here in the mighty Erongo region. You can also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Follow us, click that like button, just see what's happening on our socials. You can also get in contact with us at 0811 7040, that is 0811 7040, on both WhatsApp and on Telegram. But if you are not a WhatsApp or Telegram person, you can send us an email. We've got a brand new email address just for you. That is newstips, NEWSTIPS, @erongo.com.na. I'll repeat it again, newstips@erongo.com.na. Let us know what is happening in your town. If you have an event, if you'd like to see Erongo Talk at your business, if you'd like to advertise with us, contact us 0811 7040. Send us your news tips to newstips@erongo.com.na. Now, like I said earlier, it's the halfway mark of the week. Hang in there. Friday is almost there. So please enjoy your day. Please stay safe. We will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.